and Louisville, who ended up losing their games today, I think there's a point in time where it would have made a lot of sense to check out and move on.
Yeah.
Yet, right, it's win or go home, right? It's win or your ACC tournament is over. So with desperation, they closed with a vengeance and made them games down to the stretch. Paul McNeil at one point, I wrote down in my notes, there were 3:27 left. It was, a 10-point game or whatever. And Paul McNeil had 10 points from that point forward.
Yeah.
Knocking down threes, hitting the front and back of 1-and-1s. And it's like that just a little bit of extra desperation made these games much more interesting down the stretch. Same in this one. Miami had what felt like a comfortable lead. Louisville, with extra desperation, fought all the way to the end, and maybe a made free throw here or there, a call from the ref here or there away from getting over the hump and pulling off the comeback. But again, that's another great example, right? The two teams that were trailing, unbelievable efforts to make them games.
Yeah.
Yet it ends how it would have ended if they checked out, right? This tournament has been a lot of chaos, leading to a very predictable, at least where we sit right now, Thursday at 5:25. Speaking of 5:25, that's time for us to go ahead and take a quick break here. But we will dive into that NC State loss. What does it mean for the team? What does it mean for their NCAA tournament hopes and dreams and planning coming up? But first, Dennis Cox, you have something you'd like to tell everybody?
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick, my good friends over at Law Tigers. I know up in the Triangle, really across the state of North Carolina and this entire region, weather got wonky today. As a motorcycle rider, weather, it's just unpredictable. You might look at the forecast and everything's supposed to be nice and clear and sunny and warm. And all of a sudden, boom, there might be snowing in your area. That's just how weather works sometimes. So always have an option for yourself as a motorcycle rider to get to safety. What are your outs? If all of a sudden the weather turns bad, how do you get home safely? How do you get your bike and yourself into a safe spot? Always have that in your mind when you get out there on the road. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact your insurance company. Law Tigers are riders too. They know what your bike and your gear are worth, but most importantly, they understand what it's like to go through an accident. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Florida State starts making their way out to warm up. We have not seen Duke out here yet, but
not yet.
Those two teams will be battling at 7 here at the ACC men's basketball tournament, and we'll be back in just a minute to break down NC State's loss to Virginia. Stick around.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier Factory Authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Lending, that they understand that you'd love to choose your mortgage rate. Wouldn't we all just pick a really low number and lower our monthly payment? But we can't do that. Instead, what Miller Lending wants to make sure you're aware of is that you can be as adaptable and flexible as possible. If rates drop in 2 weeks, refi. And more importantly, refi with no closing costs. We all know that's one of the barriers keeping you from doing it anyway. So Miller Lending offers a no closing cost loan. That's right. It says it right there in the name. If you have questions, great. They want to answer them. A free, no obligation consultation. Go ahead and make the call. It's completely free, and you're not signing up for anything. You're just getting your questions answered. And by the way, locally owned. So when you call, you're talking to somebody in the Triangle. The number to call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are live from right outside, right off the court of where the ACC men's basketball tournament is being played all day today, all day tomorrow, and of course finishing over the weekend. And it has been going on since Tuesday. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox here as well. And right on this court that we're looking at, NC State had their ACC, their first ACC basketball tournament of the Will Wade era come to a close with a loss to Virginia, 81-74. Now, in Will Wade's post-game press conference, he said that he doesn't take moral victories.
No.
However, I don't either. But there are shades of losses, right? And they played Virginia 3 times this year, and this is the most optimistic shade of loss to Virginia this season. It was a perhaps blowout situation in their first 2. And then this one, it was a game, which Will Wade did say yesterday after they beat Pitt. We got to play better, and we got to try to make it a game against Virginia tomorrow.
They did.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Although not a win. And that's again, I struggle with this because there are no moral victories, but that does deserve some form of praise for adjusting, recognizing things you didn't do well when you played that team previously. And coming back and putting a better product on the floor. And with that, sometimes it's like I want apples to apples comparisons, okay? And I thought there was a great bit of coaching, great bit of adjustment, whether it was by the coaching staff or the team for NC State from yesterday in their win against Pitt to today in their loss against Virginia. And just so you know, I am going to continue to talk as if they played much better today than they did yesterday, even though they lost today and they won yesterday, because I believe they did. I
think it's true. They did. They played much better today than they did yesterday. They just happened to be playing a much better opponent that had a lot of 7-footers.
And one of them that had 8 blocks himself.
Yes.
But I think it goes all the way down to the first 5 possessions. Yesterday, if you listened to the show, I was very critical because the first possession of the game, Van Allen Lubin had a tough bucket, scored 2, got his team going, and then immediately after that, it felt forced. It felt out of rhythm. They really halted everything to get Darian Williams a couple post touches, and he was not operating from a place of strength. A couple of weak short jumpers, misses, and then suddenly Will Wade has to call a timeout to stop the bleeding on a run by Pitt. Didn't hurt him yesterday because Pitt, like as you mentioned, isn't quite as good as Virginia. But then today, first bucket of the game for them is again a tough bucket by Van Allen Lubin, and I'm going like, all right, let's see what they do. And that was the first of 4 consecutive possessions that Van Allen Lubin had the ball, went strong to the bucket, and tried to finish. He walked away from those 4 possessions with 6 points, 1 made field goal, 4 made free throws, and then finally on the 4th he missed. I love that. And because of that, their whole first half was different. Their whole first half was more in rhythm. Darian Williams did end up hitting a 3 and things that came to him within the rhythm of the offense. But they were, I think, playing a million times better than they were yesterday in the first half. And ironically, they went into half both times down 1.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the difference between Pitt and Virginia. You played much better, same position against Pitt. And with that, we have some audio for you from the postgame. Paul McNeil, who closed with an absolute vengeance for NC State.
He was great tonight, or today.
Shot maker, plus. Talked about what UVA did, specifically what UVA's defense did with some of their height to make it difficult for State in the second half.
Yeah, just using their link. I think number 17 was in foul trouble, I believe. So
it was a little bit.
Yeah, so when he got back, it was just like everything just got wider. Everything just got difficult for us. But also, that was really sort of our game plan to get them in, get in the paint, and kick it out to the 3.
Get the middle, get in the paint, kick it out to the 3. I think they did that, right? And it came down to close enough, right? It came down to, are you going to make the shots that you absolutely need to at the most important moments? And they were unable to do that, right? And Virginia, with the added benefit of a little bit of a lead built there in the first part of the second half, held on. But outside of a little 5-minute stretch there, I thought this was a pretty evenly played game, which is a massive improvement for NC State against a team like Virginia.
Yeah, and State's lack of size was an impact in the second half. It was a massive factor because you look at in the second half, they only had 4 points in the paint. Only 4 points in the paint. That includes transition opportunities where you're getting a layup. They just didn't have that. They couldn't get points in the paint. Like you talked about, Lubin in the very beginning of the game, 6 points early on possessions, ball down into the paint, or whether it's off ball action, whatever it might be. But he was scoring down low. State simply couldn't get points in the paint in the second half, and that was the difference. They couldn't get points in the paint in the second half. That was the difference. Their lack of size caught up to them against a team like Virginia that's got a couple, as Trey Holloman said, they got about 2 or 3 footers out there.
and they looked the part. 8 blocks for Onyensu, who is one of those big guys and actually was playing more than he normally does due to some foul trouble that some of his teammates found themselves in. And that is a big part of this game. I do want to play one clip from Will Wade, though, because Will Wade in the postgame spoke about how, they hope this game can get them prepared for the NCAA tournament and how the close nature of this game could reflect in the growth of the team. So here's Will Wade in the postgame presser.
Well, we played him the second time we played him was a couple weeks ago. Seemed like a month ago. Look, we're not into moral victories. Look, you either get the job done or you don't, and we didn't get the job done today. The reality is we should have played more like this the first 2 games, and we didn't, and that's why we were in. That's why we're in this. That's why we were in this position. That's why we were the 7th seed. That's the reality of it, and we didn't get the job done today. And we shouldn't have gotten beat like we did the first 2 times either.
Again, not a win. However, after their most recent Virginia loss prior to today, that was, for those of you that remember, the Will Wade postgame presser where he said, we're not ready to compete with the top of the conference.
Yeah.
We're not ready to compete with the top teams in the conference. You don't say that after today because you were ready to compete, which if we assume they make the NCAA tournament, which I think most are predicting, but is far from an absolute lock, depending on how some other conference tournaments finish up. If we assume they make the NCAA tournament, that is a good thing to know, right? If you can compete with the top of what I consider one of the best conferences in college basketball. That is something that this team, I'm not sure they could say until today because, of how they finished their season and of some of the losses that they suffered in the manner in which they suffered them. So overall, not a win, but a better loss. And I hate saying that out loud for NC State. And then Will Wade wouldn't say it either. And then real quickly here, and I know we have to get to another break, but Will Wade did address some of the LSU rumors after the game. He did. Okay. He was asked about the scuttlebutt, whatever you want to call it, that LSU may be interested in his services yet again, and he was asked if anyone from his camp had reached out to anybody, and we have the audio for you. Here's him addressing the rumors.
No, is the job open there? Huh? No? So why would I'm not, listen, let me be very clear. I'm excited at NC State. I was hired at NC State to do a job. This wasn't going to take 1 year. I've already met with our administration about next year and some of the changes that we need to make and some of the things that we need to do to put this program where it deserves long term. So I'm not, I don't, I'm not on social media. I'm not into gossip. I'm not into any of that sort of stuff. But look, we're going to win, and we're going to win big at NC State, and that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do moving forward. And we have the resources we need. We have what we need, and it's on me and my staff to get the job done. And look, this year hadn't gone exactly how we wanted it to, but we're going to rally, and we're going to work hard, and we're going to have a team next year that's ready to roll.
Now, normally, here is where I would remind everybody that no coach is under oath at the podium.
That's true. They're not.
And there's been a ton of coaches that have said, I'm here, I bleed the fighting colors of this university. And then 2 weeks later, they're bouncing. But I would also add, right, in this particular situation, that he, when dealing with this last year, very similar situation at McNeese State, he was almost openly honest or overly honest.
Yeah.
Along the whole way going, I'm taking interviews, but I'm focused here. Like he has a history of not maybe mincing words the same way other coaches do. So perhaps you can take him more at face value than you would a normal coach.
He's an open book.
That's
the thing. Is like he's been an open book. Like you can't fault the guy. It's interesting how we've always talked about with coaches as a whole. Like we want them to be more authentic and honest, and then he's authentic and honest. What is this guy doing? He's open and honest, and I don't think he's going anywhere.
And by the way, he has said this, right? He went through some things where he was maybe not the most honest early in his career, and he said, like, listen, I learned.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be on Front Street with me, and then there's nothing that I have to answer for, which is probably a good lesson to learn. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Again, we are live from the ACC men's basketball tournament where many of the Duke players have come out and started getting their warm-ups and getting their early shots off. Dame Sarr right in front of us, preparing for their contest against Florida State at 7. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. You know what? I've actually learned this recently that quite a few of the championship teams from yesteryear are given some pretty awesome watches, some timepieces to commemorate those accomplishments. And while we all would love to, we all can't be athletes at the highest level, right? We all can't go win championships, national championships, professional championships, but we still do accomplish things, and we can still mark those moments with a luxury timepiece. We just might have to go get them ourselves or buy them for a friend that has a milestone. So if you're thinking work anniversary, you're thinking finally getting your kids off to college, whatever life milestone you're celebrating, Bailey's Fine Jewelry has the luxury timepiece to accurately mark that passage of time, whether it is a pre-owned and vintage Rolex, a brand new and innovative Omega. They are an Omega retailer with the largest Omega boutique of its kind in the country. Blancpain, Glacute Original, Norcanes, and so many more. I can't even list them all. If you're looking to mark a awesome milestone in your life, just like a championship for an athlete, head out to Bailey's Fine Jewelry and grab yourself a watch to celebrate. Just make sure when you stop out at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Village District location in Raleigh, that you tell them you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. As I said earlier, or just a moment ago, Duke warming up in front of us, and that, of course, is for their contest against Florida State at 7, where they are the heavy favorite to advance in the ACC tournament. We preview that one coming up next.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Hi, Greg Talbot with Strategic Tax Resolution. Tax enforcement and defense strategies have changed a lot over the last year. After nearly 5 years, the IRS has restarted automated collections. You could be next for bank levies and wage garnishments. Ignoring the issue is not an option. Call 984-272-2600 to get protected. Do you have unfiled returns or tax debt? We work directly with the IRS and states so you don't have to. Let us use our proven strategies and experience with the IRS and state to resolve your tax issue. Qualified clients have cut their tax debt by more than 90%. How would that feel? Act now to learn the latest updates to tax relief programs. Your eligibility may not be the same. Strategic Tax Resolution. Local, trusted, A+ rated by the BBB. Call 984-272-2600. Ask for me, Greg Talbot. 984-272-2600. You've got a guy on your side. StrategicTaxResolution.com. Get relief.
Dugout has double the madness this March. Catch all the tourney games on the Dugout Tavern and Grill's massive 16-foot surround sound video wall. On top of that, we've got St. Patty's Day parties. Dugout has $20 Corona buckets, Modelo bucket specials, New Belgium Voodoo Ranger IPA pints for $5.50, and New Belgium is also sponsoring our bracket prize packs. Free to play. Plus, we've got beer reps coming in every weekend to treat the crowd to giveaways. Catch all the March action at the Dugout Tavern and Grill on Kelly Road in Apex.
Canes hockey is back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Canes on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, official hard tea and lemonade of the Carolina Hurricanes. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage band tee, not just any tee, the band tee. You wore it everywhere until your best friend stole it. Now you're on eBay, and there it is. Same tee from the same tour. The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you, especially on eBay. Where else can you find that mint trading card you searched everywhere for, or your first car, the one you wish you never sold? It has to be eBay. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a warehouse operations manager.
Where are the forklifts?
Sold them. Too expensive. We're using scooters now.
So you expect us to move a 2-ton pallet on a scooter?
Just lean into it. Put your back into it, people.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hey folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Loan Pronto. Are you tired of getting hammered by those high interest debts? Maybe those mortgage rates over 6%, the credit cards, the car loans at 10, 20%? Well, Loan Pronto is here with the answer you've been waiting on, the all-in home refi. One fast, easy solution to lock in the lowest rate in 3 years and wipe out all those nasty loans. One homeowner got their APR down to 4.99%, paid off over $80,000 in high interest loans and saved over $2,000 a month. And listen, while some lenders charge up to $10,000 in fees, Loan Pronto cost is just $995. That's right, $995, and you can wipe out your high interest loans at once. It's the all-in refi from Loan Pronto. Super fast, super cheap, no hard credit pull up front, often no appraisal, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Loan Pronto, A+ rated BBB with nearly 3,000 5-star Google reviews. Call now and ask about the all-new all-in refi. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are broadcasting live today from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. We are currently between the double headers, so I guess it's a quadruple header with that intermission, and we're at the intermission of the ACC men's basketball tournament action for today. Virginia defeating NC State to start things, and then most recently Miami beating Louisville just a few moments ago. Up next is Duke, Florida State, and then Carolina on the late night, 9:30 expected tip against Clemson is the schedule. If you are feeling the madness, you can get in on the madness with the Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge. Fill out your picks, and if you beat the odds with a perfect bracket, you score the $1 million national grand prize. Dominate our local leaderboard and pocket $500 for being the best in the triangle. That's the Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge presented by the North Carolina Courage. Take your shot. Register now at 999thefan.com. Now, right in front of us, Duke's starting to get warmed up.
Yeah, they are.
And you may think Duke, oh, the number one team in the country. Oh, they're favored by 16.5 against Florida State. Nobody is worried for Duke. I'll tell you, I'll put it like this. There's a lot of mumbling. No one's saying it like full-throated, but there is a lot of mumbling that Florida State is a popular dark horse pick for a few reasons. One, Duke is dealing with some injuries. And two, Florida State, I do think, is a much better team than maybe their reputation would entail. And we'll attack both of those in our little setup here. Let's start with the injuries. Caleb Foster, Patrick Gungba are out for Duke. Okay, they're not amongst the guys warming up in front of us. We do not expect them to be. Actually, they could both be in walking boots, which would make it very obvious that they're not playing. But they're not going to play today. I did some math, and by that I mean simple addition.
Okay.
I have their combined stats in front of me.
All right.
They combine for 47.8 minutes per game.
Okay, that's a lot.
19.2 points, 9.6 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 1 steal, and 1.2 blocks. That is the combined numbers of Foster and Gungba.
So darn near 20 and 10.
Exactly. Now, I did, for reference, put Cam Boozer's numbers here.
Yeah.
By himself, about 3 more points, about a half more rebound, about the same amount of assists, half more steal, and about half as many blocks.
Okay.
So they're important, but I wanted to be clear here. They're not the straw that stirs the drink, right? They still have their best player. And you could argue, depending on your opinions of Dame Sarr and Isaiah Evans, they might have 3 or 4 of their best players still available in this one. But the thing that worries me the most out of all those stats I just read, it's the minutes. It's 47.8 minutes that they play that they are going to have to replace. Whether those two guys are making a ton of highlight plays, which they're both capable of, or they're not, they are two super dependable, and I don't say this as an insult, innings eaters, right? That they can be out there. Each of them could play 30 minutes, barring foul trouble or whatever it is. And John Shire wouldn't worry about him. You know what I mean? You would assume that things are going to be okay. You would assume that things are going to be taken care of. I still think, this is the way I'm going to put it, I still think Duke has the reasons that they win available. They need to make sure that they find 50 minutes per game, just about, from players that will not be the reason they lose. Because right now, Caleb Foster and Gungba have proven that, right? Caleb Foster has been at Duke as long as anybody of the scholarship, rotational players. This is his 3rd year. And Gungba's a 2nd-year player, and they've been in big games. They've been in big minutes. So the replacements, so to speak, the guys that could be taking some of those minutes, Caden Boozer, Nick Hamania, Dame Sarr might get a little extra run, right? Those guys are all brand new to all of this. So it's not necessarily about finding this new super ceiling or these new players that can go out and score and do crazy things. It's more about making sure you find guys that do all of the little things right, which is what Foster and Gungba do so well. And then there's the Florida State element of this. Popular dark horse. They are up to number 67 in the net rankings, which you may be going 67, woo. But when you consider they were well outside the top 100 in January. I went back, I think it was middle of January, they were 115, and I believe they still lost another game or two after that. So there's a world where they fell outside the top 120 or 125 in the net. Yet they fought their way back up to 67. They started ACC play, losing 6 of 7 games in the conference, losses to Duke, State, Syracuse, Wake, SMU. But they finished ACC play winning 10 of their last 12. Their only losses to, at the time, number 15 Virginia and Miami, who's now one of the top seeds in the ACC tournament. So they've turned their season around pretty good.
Yeah, 10 of 12 include last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Wins, yeah.
And they shot it well last night. 46% from 3 versus Cal on 28 attempts, which if you're going to pull off an upset, you usually need to have the 3 as one of your weapons.
Yep.
So if they can keep that shooting up, which albeit will be much more difficult against a defense like Duke's. That would be one of the ways that a 16.5-point dog can make a game of it. And again, not expecting it, but I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people here in this building that, when they're amongst friends that they don't think it'll leak, they go, Florida State's been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
And Duke's dealing with some injuries.
Yep. I mean, that's one of the reasons why that people are like very high on Florida State right now, because how hot they've been playing, because Duke is dealing with the injuries. And it's the first time that we've actually going to see John Shire have to game plan with the injuries. It's one thing to adjust in game, but actually having a game plan, and like you said, play a full 40-plus minutes without those guys, it's going to be an adjustment for sure. And I actually have Kurt, I have the play drawn up right here. For those who are watching on YouTube, it's pretty simple. You give the ball to Cam Boozer, and then you move off ball and let him decide what he wants to do with it. That's the play.
Shout out to Louisville for leaving behind their whiteboard.
Louisville left their board behind.
So Dennis is going to be drawing up youth basketball plays all day over here. Let's run Princeton motion offense.
And pretty much backdoor cuts, baby. Let's go.
Last thing, and not last thing, right? Because obviously this game is coming up in just about an hour now. We'll talk about it. But speaking of John Shire having to scheme up around injuries, this tournament, we were there, is where Con Knippel announced himself.
Because Cooper Flagg got hurt.
He was seen as a first-round pick. I don't think he was the 4th overall pick until Cooper Flagg got hurt in, I think it was our first game of the ACC tournament.
Yeah, it was.
And Con Knippel put the team on his back, won tournament MVP, scored a whole bunch of points. And I think that opened up some eyes to like, oh, this guy, hey, he might be not only a lottery pick, but a top of the lottery pick. And now he's the betting favorite to be the NBA Rookie of the Year. So, right in front of us right now, Isaiah Evans is getting shots up. If there are injuries, then that reveals usage that is up for grabs. If a guy like Isaiah Evans has a huge day, Dame Sarr, if he has a huge day with a little bit more opportunity, those are a couple guys that can go from maybe late round, first round projections to lottery picks because there were some injuries and there were some opportunities in a tournament like this. Take advantage of it just like Con Knippel did.
See Cam Boozer out here shooting threes. I'll have to show the play for him. Hey, this is pretty much how it goes. I'm actually curious to see what John Shire is going to do with his team in terms of just the pace of play. Because he did say earlier this week that he isn't going to, all of a sudden still keep a 9-guy rotation and just bring other guys off the bench. He basically said we're going to play our 7. So it'd be Hemenya and Harris coming off the bench. That's it. You're only going to run 7 guys. You can only get up and down the court and run so much. They might be more of like, hey, let's keep this in the half court. Let's get down to final 10 seconds of the shot clock type situation. That way they can control the pace of play.
And that is him expanding his rotation a bit. Darren Harris really doesn't play that much. He went stretches of, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games earlier in conference play without getting more than 7 minutes in a game. So if they go to a 7-man rotation and Darren Harris is playing bigger minutes, that is inherently expanding their rotation, because of the injuries. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. I've been making this adjustment, or this analogy, I should say, all week. But in a tournament like this, you need players that can do it all. Pass, shoot, score, defend. Need to do a little bit of everything. Maynard Service Company is that version of a service company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. They do it all. And actually, it's very important, especially when you look at something like a modern water heater, where if you were to slice your water heater down the middle and look at it, you'd think part of it was a computer. So you don't want to call out your plumber to fix your water heater and learn, oh, it's actually an electrical problem. All right, now I got to go call an electrician. Let me get them in there. And oh, by the way, there's something going on with your heater and the condensation on that side of the attic. And okay, all right, let's get everybody together. No, you just call Maynard Service Company. It's that 5-tool do-it-all player, and they can come out and fix it in one fell swoop, or at least with one fell truck, right? Just one truck, everything out there, make it happen. You see their trucks all over the place. Give them a call, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993, or visit them online at maynardservices.com, MAYNOR services.com. as we said, Duke, Florida State next up here in ACC tournament land. Following them on the late night tip, Carolina, Clemson. Preview that one next.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $200 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.49 to 4.37. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Kick off the 2026 season with the NC Courage home opener Saturday, March 14th at 7 p.m. against Racing Louisville FC. Bring the family early for FanFest with music, games, and fun for the kids. Grab your seats today at tickets.nccourage.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come and throw it in and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Hey folks, Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. If you are serious about the weight loss journey, you have to give Raleigh Weight Loss Center a call. 919-897-7506 or swing by RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call. Here's the thing about Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I was part of the program. I can speak from this firsthand. No shots, no injections, no drugs, no steroids, none of the nasty side effects. Just restarting your metabolism. That way your body can do the natural thing. They've helped thousands of people lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of their body weight. I lost 15% of my body weight, more than 15% of my body weight, over 40 pounds, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Again, give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up that free 15-minute phone call. I'm living, breathing, walking proof that the plan can work. First 50 callers get a $100 discount. 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Max Gorin here live at the Lenovo Studios with a 6 o'clock market update. Dow Jones closed down 739 points at 46,677. Market update brought to you by the UNC Chapel Hill University Development Office. Give UNC is back Tuesday, March 24th. Get ready to leave your mark at giveunc.unc.edu.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you are watching on YouTube, first of all, awesome. But second of all, you can see we are in a giant arena. That would be the Spectrum Center here in Charlotte. We are courtside where Duke and Florida State are warming up for their ACC tournament 7 o'clock tip that is coming up. By the way, here on 99.9 The Fan, if you hear me talking about the ACC tournament a bunch, don't worry. There will still be Carolina Hurricanes hockey here on 99.9 The Fan. It's just we're here at the ACC tournament, so we're going to talk a lot about this. But Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. That's what we're going to be passing you off to here in a little less than a half hour. And they'll take on the Blues 7 o'clock in the Lenovo Center. And you can hear that right here on 99.9. After the Duke game right here in Charlotte, though, after the Duke-Florida State game, even later, we will have fourth-seeded ACC tournament action as the number 4 seed North Carolina Tar Heels take on fifth-seeded Clemson. Clemson is favored by 1.5. So despite being the 5 seed, they are favored by 1.5 over the 4 seed. And I will tell you something. That has to do with the fact that Caleb Wilson is not available in this one. And Caleb Wilson will not be available for the Tar Heels the rest of the season. Broke his thumb in practice, actually, during a non-contact drill as he was attempting to come back from a left-hand fracture. He broke his right-hand thumb. Season-ending surgery. He will not be back this year. That's a big deal, right? I did the stats combined of the injured players for Duke. I don't have to combine anything to make it obvious how much Caleb Wilson will be missed by Carolina. He averages 19.8 points per game. That's the most of any Carolina Tar Heel. He averages 9.4 rebounds per game. That is the most of any Carolina Tar Heel. Let me see if you catch a pattern here.
Yeah.
He averages 2.7 assists. That's the most by any Carolina Tar Heel. He averages 1.5 steals per game. That's the most by any Carolina Tar Heel. And he averages 1.4 blocks per game. That is the most of any Carolina Tar Heel.
Oh, so just the guy leads them in everything.
He leads them in all major statistics.
Got it. That makes sense.
But similar to where, like, maybe the flashiest stat isn't the one I worried about most with the Duke injuries. I'm not worried about as much the raw counting statistics as much as I am worried about the momentum changing plays, right? When things got going against Carolina this year, when they were able to turn it around, it usually was in the wake of a big play by Caleb Wilson, right? It usually was in the wake of a dunk, a block shot, a hustle play, a drawn foul, and him flexing at midcourt and the crowd going wild. Those were the things that took, like, oh, this game's kind of fading, to, all right, the Tar Heels are back into control.
He got the juice going for him.
We know that Carolina, like certain schools do, has talent up and down their roster. But what happens if things start going in a direction they're not happy with? Do they have the personality, the lead dog player attitude to flip things and get it going in the other direction without Caleb Wilson? Because I'll give you this as an example. And this was revealed today on UNC basketball social media. Henry Vasar, they're incoming, or not incoming anymore. He was a transfer from Arizona, but he's played very well this year. He is one of the 5 finalists for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award, which goes to the top center in the entire country.
Nice. I didn't see that. Good for him.
So when you're, second team all ACC, you're probably not expected to be one of the top 5 at your position in the entire country. But he is, right? And then we know Seth Trimble and everything he's done for Carolina over the years. And we know the recruiting pedigree of so many of these guys at Carolina. So they have talent, right? They have basketball ability. The thing that Caleb Wilson did that was so impressive to me, beyond his ridiculous physical traits, was he was like the culture leader of this team from the moment he walked on campus.
Yeah.
I think they're going to miss that. And if there's something I would be looking to exploit if I were Clemson, it would be, when they call a time, like if Clemson goes on a 3-bucket run, they score 7 straight points, and Carolina calls a timeout, I'm walking slowly back to the huddle. If I'm Clemson, I'm clapping a lot. I'm pumping the crowd up. I'm doing everything I can to let Carolina know momentum's on our side, because I don't know if they have their momentum stopper.
We heard Hubert Davis at times talk about in practice who's the guy that gets them going, who's the guy that's been the leader emotionally for the team. It has been Caleb Wilson. I'm curious to see now going forward. Again, we had the game against Duke where they didn't have Wilson. Obviously, it was 50-50 if he was going to play anyway before the second injury took place. But now that the team fully knows it, that he's not going to be playing, you don't have it in your back pocket anymore if you're Carolina of like, all right, Caleb's coming back. You don't have it in your back pocket.
Keep it on the tracks until he gets back.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
we just got to keep it afloat.
Yeah, you don't have that anymore. So now how does Hubert Davis truly have his guys and the players themselves embrace a different role? Because this is what it has to be going forward.
And there might be positives to that.
Sure.
Right? There might be, the head coach that gets to kick the interim title off of their head coach title.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is my program now. There might have been like I'm an interim number 1 option. I'm an interim number 2 option. Well, guess what? Everybody kicked those interims off. Henry Vasar, you're the number 1 guy. Seth Trimble, you're the number 2 guy, right? Get rid of those temporary titles. It's yours. Go ahead and own it. Looking at Clemson's side of things, Clemson was a top 20 team in the country until they lost 5 of 6 games in the ACC near the end of the season. Losses to Virginia Tech, Duke, Wake, Florida State, and UNC, with a win mixed in there against Louisville. But that tumbled their rankings. It tumbled their metrics. Everything kind of fell in a big way there. If they've figured it out or cleaned it up, might be a better way to say it. And they did beat Wake Forest 71-68 last night in the ACC tournament. Again, a late night start for them. If they figured it out, UNC is going to have a task on their hand because, when they were at their best, they were a top 20 team in the country this year.
Yeah.
The way I'm describing Clemson, and I've used this a few times today, is they attempt to kill you by 1,000 paper cuts. They played 10 players against Wake Forest last night. I'm going to give you their point totals for all 10 players. 5, 11, 8, 5, 8, 9, 3, 6, 8, 8. They had all 10 players score, nobody more than 11, only one less than 5. So it truly is like, the best shot gets taken, not necessarily a shot by the best player gets taken for Clemson if there's just a little different in the way you word it there. And I wonder if, again, when they're right, if that's not a little bit more difficult for a team to defend against, because you don't have the whole scouting report of you got to get it out of this guy's hand or you got to run this guy off the 3-point line. It's just kind of like play everybody pretty solidly because they don't necessarily have a dude. And Adam Gold made this analogy earlier. It's like playing if the Canes were playing another NHL hockey team that didn't have a stud scoring line. Yeah. And you're like, well, where do we put Stahl? Like, where do we put our grind line if they all average the same amount of goals and none of them are elite scorers? Like, there's similar thoughts to that for a basketball team of like, well, who do we deny? Right? Who do we make sure that we chase the ball out of their hand? Who do we make sure it doesn't get open jump shots if they don't necessarily have any one dude, but they're all capable? It's just a little bit different. I think that's one of the challenges that Brad Brownell's Clemson team could bring to Carolina today.
I'm curious if Carter Welling plays for Clemson because we did see him leave in the game yesterday in their win against Wake Forest. Was going up for a layup, just kind of just went down. I actually saw him in the locker room area, like around like the underneath part of the arena, with crutches, big brace on his knee. So it was kind of like I was like, this doesn't look good.
I'm not a doctor. This is just observing. On the floor, they were doing the test that you normally do to check stability of an ACL.
Yeah.
I don't know what the results of that test were. They didn't tell me. But having been around sports long enough, when they immediately go to that, I know what they're checking. I know what they're looking for, and a pit grows in my stomach when I see the trainers doing that particular test.
And he's the player that averages about 10 points a game. He actually scored 13 against Carolina when they actually played about 10 days ago. So yeah, he's 6'10". So that might, in terms of Carolina, that might help alleviate some of that pressure in the post for some of the guys that they have down low. We'll see.
Vasar smelling opportunity, right? You never want someone to be injured, but you got to play the cards as they're dealt.
Yep.
Vasar smelling opportunity. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will take a break from live here in Charlotte, Spectrum Center, where Duke and Florida State are warming up for their 7 o'clock ACC tournament tip. We'll dive back into that game when we come back. But first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick. For my friends over at Lone Pronto, something I'm excited about is getting, when I do get back home, taking the motorcycle out for a ride, obviously when the weather is good. But I want you to get out there on the roads with me. And then, folks, you have an opportunity to win. This is the time of year where you see a lot of people wanting to win, tournaments, all this kind of stuff going on. You have a chance to win as well. Go to caniacsbike.com. Caniacsbike.com. That's where you're going to enter for your chance to win a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle. That's right. I'll say it again, because the Law Tigers, along with your Carolina Hurricanes, are teaming up once again to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle, courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. Simple to enter. You go to caniacsbike.com. You'll see pictures of the bike right there. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you want to see the bike in person, just swing on over to Art Moto Garage. It's a beautiful custom painted V4 Ducati motorcycle. I've seen it in person. Trust me, you'll fall in love with it the moment that you see it. Go to caniacsbike.com, enter for your chance to win. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back live in Charlotte next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and St. Louis.
Back for Nikishin. They score! A power play goal!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Nikishin takes it and scores! You could have rode that one to Moscow. What a goal, Alexander Nikishin on the power play.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
On the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield, this is Wolfpack Sports Today, your daily look inside NC State athletics. And now, here's Wolfpack Sports Today.
I'm Matt Jasnow. NC State lifts the lid on the postseason with a win. Wolfpack Sports Today is next.
My name is Dr. David Boone. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Raleigh Orthopedic Clinic. I'm going to talk about ankle sprains. Ankle sprains are one of the more common athletic injuries we see in the athletes we treat on a daily basis. These injuries can range from minor injuries to more complete disruptions of the ankle ligaments. Usually we can treat these athletes non-operatively, but occasionally chronic instability develops and surgery is required.
Thank you, Dr. Boone. Use the same doctors as the NC State Wolfpack. For more information, visit RaleighOrtho.com.
Pack beats Pittsburgh 98-88 in the first game of the second round of the ACC tournament. NC State's now 20-12 and a likely lock for the NCAA tournament. Coach Wade after the game.
I'm probably most proud we shot the ball well, because if we don't shoot the ball well, it would have been tough sledding for us. So, look, we just had to win today. The goal today was to win, and we needed to find a way to get a win. And so it was a good win for us, and now we got to turn the page and see if we can be a little bit better against Virginia. I guess we couldn't be much worse, so hopefully we'll be a little bit better.
All right, let's talk offense then. 6 double-figure scores, but you shoot 56% from 3. You missed 4 free throws in total. You shot 27.
And we shot 20 in the first half, only 7 in the second half.
Yeah. And then 6 double-figure scores, as I mentioned, only 6 turnovers in the ballgame. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah, solid. Look, we were solid. Q was really good. He was able to pick at some mismatches and get downhill and do some things. So he was really, really solid and really, really good for us. And so those guys made open shots. Darian, he's turned into a pretty good three-point shooter. Paul did what he does, and Trey made some big shots.
Packs the 7th seed and takes on Virginia today at 11 a.m. airtime, a noon tip against the Cavaliers for the 3rd matchup. This is the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics.
11 a.m. airtime, noon tip, Pack and Cavaliers. This is the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to Wolfpack Sports Today, your daily look inside NC State athletics. Wolfpack Sports Today is a Learfield presentation of the Wolfpack Sports Network.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This? This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's Bo time.
There's Bo time, and then there's Bojangler time. You heard right. The Bojangler fish fillet sandwich is back for limited time at participating Bojangles. A light, flaky, perfectly seasoned fish fillet with lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce tucked inside a bun. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have to make some picks for you, but first, you can make some picks. Get in on the madness with the Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge. Fill out your picks, and if you beat the odds with a perfect bracket, you score the $1 million national grand prize. If you dominate our local leaderboard, you can pocket $500 for being the best in the triangle. The Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge is presented by the North Carolina Courage. Take your shot. Register now at 999thefan.com. You can pre-register now, and then you'll be ready once those brackets are released. We are live from the ACC tournament in Charlotte, but coming up shortly here on 99.9 The Fan will be Stormwatch with Adam Gold, followed up by the Carolina Hurricanes taking on St. Louis. And in the interest of having all of this on record, so when we brag, it's real.
Yep.
First goal score predictions from everyone here at 99.9 The Fan. Adam Gold has gone with Taylor Hall in the first.
Okay.
Also called for a last goal scorer, an empty netter from Brandon Bussey. Victoria, the producer of the Adam Gold Show, went with Seth Jarvis in the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
Max Gorham, who's back at the studio, keeping us up and running, went with Jackson Blake in the first. Dennis, who are you rolling with first goal scorer?
First goal scorer prediction, I'm going to stick with the blue line once again. Give me Alexander Nikishin in the first period. He jumps in the rush on a 3-on-2.
He's so hot right now, just on fire. I have, as I will until I get it right, Sebastian Aho in the first.
That's fair.
Let's go back to picks. Let's get everything settled. Start with that Kane-St. Louis game. Dennis, who are you picking and why?
Give me the Carolina Hurricanes to win this one 5-2. The St. Louis Blues stink. Robert Thomas is going to have a -3 day. He's going to cough up the puck twice, including on the very first goal scored by Alexander Nikishin in the first period. So he's going to be a -3 today. Give me the Carolina Hurricanes 5-2 in this one.
I'll go Canes 4-2. I do, for my own sanity, hope that Robert Thomas doesn't have like 2 goals just because I don't want to hear, this is why we should have traded for him, till I'm blue in the face. Let's go to the game that's going to be played right in front of us. The teams just cleared from their early warm-ups. It is Duke, the 1 seed here in the ACC tournament, against Florida State, the 8 seed in the ACC tournament. Duke is favored by 16.5. Dennis, how do you see this one going?
I'm still going to take. I still take Duke to win the entire ACC tournament, even with the injuries. That betting line is too steep in my eyes. Give me Duke to win this one, but I think it's going to be closer. It'll be an 81-72.
I'm going Duke. I think it's going to be close to 16.5, if not over it. So I might.
Really?
I'm not betting my own money on this game. That's too big of a spread. But if you said I'm giving you a free bet and you have to bet it on this one, I think I would take the Duke side of it.
Okay.
All right. And then obviously, stars become stars in these environments. I bet you Cam Boozer has a big game.
Oh yeah.
9:30 p.m. expected tip. Obviously depends on the Duke Florida State game. 9:30 p.m. expected tip. 4th seeded in the ACC tournament, Carolina versus 5th seeded Clemson. Clemson, a 1.5 point favorite in that one. Dennis, which way do you think this one goes?
Give me the Heels. I think Heels win this one, a close one, just like they had in the Dean Dome just last week, back on Monday last week. So give me the Heels in this one, another tight one. I think it's a little bit more of a low-scoring slugfest. Give me a 71-67 win by the Heels.
I'm also taking Carolina. If his right thumb injury were the first injury and he'd been playing up till then for Caleb Wilson, I would be very worried about Carolina, but they actually have some good experience playing without Caleb Wilson. It's not the first time. They know how to do it. So I think Carolina gets a win here and, boosts their seeding a little bit in the NCAA tournament. With that being said, our little heightened quick special edition version of the Drive with Tim Donnelly is coming to a close here because we have to make way for Adam Gold and Stormwatch and eventually the Canes here on 99.9 The Fan. Duke just reemerged from the locker room here, and you heard the boos from the I guess Florida State and everyone else faithful other than Duke fans. So we're going to enjoy the games here tonight. Check out the show tomorrow. We'll tell you everything we learn. Enjoy the Canes game here on 99.9 The Fan. Thank you to Max Gorin for keeping us up and running back at the studio. Great job as always. And until tomorrow, have a great night, everybody.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Breathe in, breathe out. The average person does that 20,000 times a day. At WakeMed, we think that's 20,000 good reasons to check your lung health by taking our free online lung health assessment. It's just a few minutes, and who knows, it could